Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Halsey. I am the health fitness specialist at the McLean location. Welcome to PPL, push, pull, and legs. With every class you have here, we have one less reason to get a BBL. All right, so all jokes aside, hope you guys had a chance to read the description. We'll be doing just what we did on Tuesday. We're going to have still 3 moves and still 3 sequences, but instead of focusing on 1 move per sequence, we're going to focus on hitting all 3 moves per sequence. All right, so that should net us around 3 sets per sequence to get through each all 3 moves. All right, so 3 moves, we should hopefully be able to get to around 3 rotations of those 3 moves per sequence. All right, each sequence is going to last 6.5 minutes, so that's where we get that 3 sets from. We should be able to do hopefully we can get to each move again 3 times. All right, but just an estimate based on your speed. Of course, the most important thing is that you are able to keep moving throughout the duration of each sequence. If you're able to do that, you're going to net yourself around 23 minutes of continual movement for the class today. All right, and that's the biggest goal here, is to just get as much movement as you can. Okay, so don't worry too much about how many times you cycle through. That's just an estimate, more so for me, but that may be 2 for you. That could be 4 for you. All right, it just depends on how fast you move and what weight you're working with. All right, so again, check the description. You'll see what moves we have. We will need weights for all 3 movements, or 2 of the 3 movements. You can use weight for all 3, but you only need weights for 2. All right, but nonetheless, we're gonna go ahead and get warmed up. Keep a variety of weights available if that's what you have, if you have access to that. Again, 2 of those moves we'll be able to use weight with, the last one being a push-up variation. You obviously don't need any weight for a push-up. That's all body weight. All right, so grab your weights, keep your water handy, and we're gonna go ahead and warm up. I'm gonna start our timer real quick. We'll take 5 minutes to warm up, and then we'll get into the workout. All right, start counting us down from 5, 3, 2, 1. All right, so start our warm up. All you're gonna do is bring your hands down. We're gonna hit a burpee step back, basically stepping down and up. Prepping the wrists, reach up at the top as well. Prepping the wrists, getting some weight in the wrists, some weight in the shoulder, getting the legs moving, and stepping up and down to kind of help raise the blood pressure and the heart rate and your breathing rate. So got a little bit of everything going here. Got 2 more. Last one. Coming right back down on all 4s. Gonna go right into cat-cow. You're tucking your chin to your chest and bringing the crown of your head to your back. Of course, inhaling and exhaling as you move. So exhale as you come down. Inhale as you come up. 1 more round. All right, and from here, you're gonna bring your right leg up. Push your knee and your hips forward like you're bringing your hips to your heel. Don't let the heel come up. You're gonna elevate the left leg if you can, otherwise just keep it bent. You're gonna take the right hand, reach toward the ceiling, push the right elbow down to the floor. Smooth with your movements here. Don't rush it. Two, 3 more. Last one. And from here, you're gonna come up, straighten up this front leg. If you need to come up to do that, not a problem. Go ahead and do so. You're gonna bring your back foot closer to your front foot. That'll help you get deep into this stretch. But if you can't touch the floor, no worries. Just fold your chest down toward the floor. You should feel a stretch in your hamstring. On the right side, you're gonna bring the left knee down, come back up, and just repeat. Squeezing the quad, pushing the knee back. Again, you should feel a stretch every time you come up. We're just trying to straighten this right leg out. One more, then we're going to switch. All right, so go ahead and switch back down to the floor. Again, push the hips forward. Don't let the heel come up. Elevate the back leg if you can. Take the left hand, reach up to the sky, and push the elbow down to the floor. And come all the way up to the top. Straighten this left leg out. Fold over. Bring the right leg up if you need. Drop the right knee to the floor. And keep on coming up. Straightening this left side out. You're looking to feel a stretch in the left side. Again, just get the left leg straight now. You might need to bring that right leg up more in order to feel the stretch more. One more. All right. From here, you're going to come to your butt, take a seat, turn the fingertips to the left and the right, roll the shoulders back, pull them down away from your ears. You're going to elevate the hips, come down. Four more. All right, come on up to your feet. We're gonna hit a few air squats, bodyweight squats. So get in your stance and just go right down, come up. Take your time coming down. I'm gonna twist your feet into the ground. Push up. We know how to squat, we know how to squat. All right, and come to a straddle. We're going to come to a windmill here. Hands up to the left and the right, parallel to the floor. Take the right hand, reach down to the left foot. You can bend your knees just a little bit here. Our first move is going to be a side lunge. You're folding at the hips. Push your butt back. Don't just fold over with your back. Push your butt back and hinge at the hips. Two more. One and two. All right. So we're ready to go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our first sequence. All right, so I'm going to go over all three moves. We're going to cycle through all three moves every single time. So you go from one move to the next, back to the top, to the second, to the third, back to the top, all the way through all three sequences. So move number one, you're going to have a side lunge. So you're going to come to a straddle position here. You can start with the left or right, doesn't matter. But you're going to go one hand at a time. Side lunge, row, come back up, overhead press. You can switch hands if you want, or you can stay on one side. All right, either do 5 reps each side, that's 10 total, or do 10 reps each side, that's 20 total. Whatever makes most sense to you, do that. All right, so it's a side row or side lunge with a row, overhead press. Move number 2, we've got a bridge. So you're going to bridge, walk your feet out, march, march, walk your feet back in. So bridge again, bridge, walk out, march, march, and back in. You can use weight for this move if you want as well. You probably won't need to, but you can. All right, so again, bridge, walk your feet out, march, walk your feet in, bring your hips back down, and repeat. All right, move number 3, so the last one, it's just a down dog with a push up or a push up with a down dog. Don't really care which one you do first, but I'm going to be doing the push up first. So push up, down dog, and repeat. And of course, if you need to, you can always do the push up on your knees, push up, then you can come up to down dog. All right. That's really the only modification we need to have. But again, on the way, I'll show you guys a few ways that you can modify it. So those are our 3 moves. Let's get started. Counting down from 5, 6.5 minutes on the clock. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Starting off with that side row, side lunge with the row and overhead press. The magic number here is 10. Do 10 reps of each, move to the next. All right, so here we go. Side lunge, row, back up, overhead press. There's 1. Ooh, don't forget your row. 2. 3, on to 5, on to 10 again. 4, 5. We got a lot of shoulder work here. And I just did 6 for some reason, but I'll do 6 on the other side too. So row. When you come to your row, try to pull back toward your hip, not into the armpit, but back toward the hip. Almost got to do a curl in order to get your weight up into the overhead press, which is exactly what we want. That transition there is going to get probably more tired than you will, or that portion of the move, that transition is probably going to be the point where you get tired quickly versus the lunge. All right, so here we go to the bridge, walk out and march. All right, so again, bridging up, walk out, march. There's 1. 2. Again, magic number is 10. 3. And what you can do to modify this, I'll show you right here. Bridge, and instead of walking your feet out, you can march from here. All right, 4. The further your feet are out when you go to march, the harder that move is going to be. So if you have your feet in when you march, the easier that march will be. So that's one way you can modify the march to make it a little bit easier for you to do. And again, you can add some weight on top of your hips here if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. You shouldn't need anything crazy, like nothing more than probably about 10 pounds in order to really feel it. All right. Flipping on over, push-ups with down dog, and of course take your time here. We aren't rushing. We are just over the 3-minute mark, almost 3 minutes flat to go. So keep on going. 10 is the magic number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, drop to your knees if you need to for this move. And 10. What I'm going to emphasize on the next round is stopping my momentum completely, then restarting that push-up. So I'll show you what I mean next time we get to it. We've got just over 2 minutes flat remaining. This is actually the first round, so like I said, hopefully we can get 3 rounds of each move for each sequence, but it may be less. This looks like it's going to be 2 for me. All right, So right back to the top, keep on going. Side lunge, row, press. Adjust your weight if you need. Adjust your reps if you need. Let the reps fit the weight. So if you got something heavy, be reasonable with yourself, do fewer reps. If you have something that's light, be reasonable, maybe do more reps. Doesn't matter what weights you have, I don't care how many reps you do, as long as you feel what you're doing is something you can continue to do, but not so easy that you can continue to do it 30 minutes after class is over. And we've got 1 minute remaining. This is just the first sequence of 3. So keep on going, guys. Stay strong. One. More than likely going to finish here at this move for this sequence. So I'm just going to keep on working. You guys keep on going too. Again, we're not rushing. We have plenty of time to come back to each move. If you want to change the order for the second sequence to help focus on a move that you didn't get a chance to do too much of, do that. All right, and time. So we're done with that first 6.5 minutes. We're gonna go into our break. It's only 45 seconds and we've used 10 of them already. So we have 30 seconds to go before we go right back to where we were. I would recommend, again, switch the order if you need to, so that way you can do a move you didn't get to as much, whether that be the second or third move with the bridges and the march, or the push-up with the down dog. You can flip the order around however you like to hit whatever it is you want to hit. Or you can start where you stop. I stopped at the bridges. We got to get ready to go. We got 5 seconds. That's where I'm going to start, the bridges. 2, 1, back to work. So I think I hit 4 reps. I'll hit 6. Last one. All right. Flipping over. Again, if you continue where you are, if you guys are where I was and finished with that bridge march, then the second move, the second set is going to be the push-up with the down dog. And as I previously mentioned, I'll show you what I mean by stopping your momentum at the bottom and then restarting. Of course, coming to your push-up, stop your momentum at the bottom, then push. So it's a split second pause. All you're doing, again, is stopping your momentum and then restarting, as opposed to down, up, like that. All right? It's a good way to build control and really creates or helps you see if that's a sticking point for you. The bottom is also the hardest position or part of the push-up. So it gives you a chance to work on that specific portion, which is the hardest for most people. All right. Taking out momentum really shows how much control you have over your movements, but also how much strength you have. So That's why we have the row at the bottom of the lunge to really show how much control and strength you have, right? So now that we're back to the top, we got 4 minutes flat to go. So again, now that I'm back to the top in my lunge, side lunge, pull, come back up. That little row is just a sneaky way to force you into holding that lunge. So if I take out the row and continue to hold that lunge for the same amount of time it takes me to row, you're essentially coming down, holding, and coming back up. You're stopping your momentum so that you can perform a move. Oh, don't forget the row. And hopefully it feels harder to get up out of the lunge after you stop your momentum. But again, we're building not only our strength, but our control, our coordination when holding at the bottom there. Okay. So we've got about just over 2.5 minutes remaining. Keep it going. Six. Again, do your march right here if you need to create a modified way to execute this move to be a little bit easier. The further your feet are out, the harder this move becomes. Really looking for a tight glute squeeze throughout the duration of this movement. Keeping the hips up. All right. Push up and down dog. So we've got just over 60 seconds remaining. Keep it going, guys. We got one more round. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Again, stop your momentum at the bottom. Stop. And then resume your movement. We're being decisive about the movements we make. That's why we want to stop. And that's how that's going to help improve our coordination and control of the movements we make. All right. Whew. 20 seconds remaining. We'll go right into it. Back up at the top. Side lunges, row, and press. Now 10 seconds. Listen out for those 3 beeps. All right. So I was able to get 2 reps in. I'm going to continue from where I stopped. 2 reps with the side lunge, row, and press. So I'll do 3 more, switch hands, keep going down the line. And this is our last interval. All right, we got about 25 more seconds of rest. Then we're right back on it. Then we're done. All right, so make your changes with your weights if you need to. And just know that we are just about through here and we can get out. We can be done. Get back to our day. All right, so we got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's get back to it again. Finish where you started, or start off from where you stopped. Again, or you can redo the order if you want. Switch up the order, hit a move that you didn't get too much for the last interval. All right. Two, I just got 3. Here's 3. All right, when you go into your press, make sure your shoulders stay stacked over your hips and you push the pit of your elbow toward your ear to make sure you're pushing vertically. I don't want you to have your weight, I forgot my row, I don't want you to have your weight in front of you this way when you go to press. We want to get vertical. So try to push the pit of your elbow in towards your ear as you press overhead, and try to keep your shoulders over your hips. We don't want to be leaning to either side, backward or forward. Try to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. All right, back to that hamstring bridge. Don't forget your modifications. You can always use them later if you need to. Again, we aren't trying to kill you guys. We're just trying to make sure you have a good workout is all. Sometimes the workouts don't get easier, but you recover faster. That is also a sign that you're progressing. All right, so don't think just because you can't continue to do the same amount of reps or the same weight for the whole time you're working out, don't think that means you're not getting stronger. Sometimes you gotta look at other measures of progress, and being able to recover is one of them. Being able to recover faster is absolutely one of them. I'll give you a time check once I get it back up so that I can see the clock. I think I got 2 more reps. Whew. All right, flipping over, we got those push-ups. We're just at that 3.5, just under that 3.5 minute mark. So again, keep it going. Don't forget your modifications and just move as much as you can. All right, so don't forget, in these push-ups, we're trying to stop our momentum. We're trying to push our body away from the floor as much as possible. Don't let your shoulder blades come together or come towards your ears. You want to push your shoulder blades in toward the floor, push your body away from the floor as much as possible. All right, so stopping the momentum at the bottom, push up, push your body away from the floor as much as possible, push your shoulders away from your ears as much as possible. Go into your down dog and repeat. All right, 2 minutes flat remaining. Back to the top. Side lunge, row, and press. Hopefully you guys are starting off on your weak side. If you aren't, don't feel bad. You just obviously have a preference for one side. Most of us do. We're not always, most of the time, we're not symmetrical in the strengths of our limbs. So I always preach, try to start when you're working out. Try to start with your weak side. If you have exercises where you do one side then the other, start with your weak side. It's not going to undo your preference. It's just going to improve your coordination of that non-preferred side. Don't forget, we're trying to push the pit of our elbow in toward our ear. All right, we got 30 seconds putting this away. We're gonna finish up where we are for this final 30 seconds. Let's keep working until you hear those 3 beeps to signify our conclusion here. If you want, you can keep on marching. I think that's what I'm going to do. That's the real work being done in this move, not the bridge. We're just using that as a setup. All right, and there's time. It's full time for my soccer goers. We're done. All right, so just catch your breath, let your heart rate come down. And again, remember what I was saying earlier about your ability to recover being a sign of progress as opposed to just the workout being easier altogether. Check and see how quickly it takes you to get back down to closer to a resting point. All right, that way you can see how you've progressed. So grab some water. We'll stretch out here in a few seconds and then we'll be on our way. Okay, so we're gonna do our stretching from a standing position. So first things first, go ahead, bring your left leg or your right leg over your left like so. We're gonna fold over to take a big breath in, push your butt back, reach for the floor. Keep taking those deep breaths. Don't hyperventilate. Just breathe deeply. Big breath in, come up slowly. Gonna switch legs, bring the right leg over the left. Another deep breath in, push the butt back, reach toward the floor. Deep breath in. Slowly come up and exhale. All right, so you're gonna come to the right tricep. Gonna grab your right elbow, pull it back, and reach your right hand down toward the center of your back. And relax. You're gonna take that same arm, right side, and pull it across your chest like so. Relax. Come to the left side now. Grab left elbow with your right hand. Reach your left hand down the center of your back. relax. Again, bring that left hand across the chest, pull across the chest. Relax. Gonna come to a straddle. Gonna come straight down the middle. Of course, take a deep breath in. Push your butt back. Reach down toward the floor. See if you can keep your legs straight here, but if you need to bend them slightly, that is okay. Gonna reach the left hand to the right ankle. Take a breath in, switch sides. Right hand to the left ankle. Come back down the middle. Take a breath in. Come to standing position. All right, so that is our class for today. Thank y'all for joining me. Continue to stretch if you need to. Of course, get you some water. Make sure you get something to eat when you're finished up. If that is what you would normally do after a class, give you some nutrients. Get that energy back that you just burned off. All right, so thank y'all for joining me. I won't actually see you on the next one because this is my last class. So whomever continues to do the exercises with you guys, the workouts with you, give them some grace. I know you guys are showing the ropes, showing the way, and since I will not be teaching in the future, feel free to go back to YouTube, stream some of the older videos. There's plenty of content on our YouTube channel for you guys to get into and work with in the interim. All right, so y'all be safe out there. I'll see you when I see you through the internet, and I hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Holla.